Hey, it's Dave with the WeedCast. We're here with Shareef. He's rocking the terpenes here with Duty Free, and some of his stuff is going in this amazing drink right here.
Yeah.
We had one yesterday. It's really good.
Yeah. We're just finding new ways to use cannabis as a botanical source for ingredients. Like pretty much the entire industry is focused on cannabinoids and how to get people high and the therapeutic benefits of cannabinoids, but it doesn't really end there. And we've just kind of built a business to explore what's possible when you start to look at all of the aromatic compounds and how those things can actually be therapeutic as well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell us about your terpenes.
Yeah. So we're the first company that's actually built a supply chain to produce cannabis-derived terpenes. We start with high THC marijuana varieties. We breed out the THC so we can farm it as hemp, and then we farm, extract, process, refine, and bring a pure product to market like neat terpenes, neat essential oil. And it's a cannabinoid-free product, and that gives us the ability to put it into the food supply.
Right.
Gives us the ability to put it into vaporizers or pre-rolls, any kind of application where cannabinoids are used. You're finding terpenes can be used to make those products better. And then we're also finding applications that don't rely on cannabinoids. You can put it into a beer and have a really interesting experience. What we're starting to see anecdotally is that what's been described as like an indica or a sativa-like high can actually be moved across form factors without the need for the cannabinoids. So just really kind of pushing the limit of what cannabis is being used for, going out for FDA GRAS approvals so that we can standardize, normalize, mature the supply chains that are coming out of this industry, and just trying to lead the way, trying to be a good actor, keeping our nose clean. We never really got on the business of selling hemp cannabinoids, which has been a big boom and bust cycle.
A lot of changes coming with that after that legislation that's been passed recently.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're like a few weeks since have passed since hemp was, the loopholes for hemp were closed.
Right. Yeah.
We've been actually advocating for sensible regulation, and because we didn't want to get swept up in the hemp ban, we always had to represent ourselves. We actually have a very loud voice at the federal level to make sure that our non-cannabinoid products didn't get picked up in the ban. And fortunate for us, we didn't. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I think that's unfortunate. I think there's a lot of really good legitimate uses for hemp, and hopefully we'll see some positive movements across the board for cannabis overall legislation-wise.
Yeah, well, look, none of the real legitimate uses for hemp were harmed. All the industrial uses, feed, fiber, grain, hemp seed oil, hemp nut proteins, all of that was safe. Terpenes safe. What actually ended up being banned was just intoxicating products. Basically, what you go and buy in a dispensary today was being sold in a gas station.
Yes.
So there was no age gating.
Right.
And instead of landing on a sensible set of regulations, they just, you get, when you push the envelope, you get comfortable, and then you push it further and you push it further. So they, that became the de facto mode of operation. Just sell high THC products across state lines, do whatever you want. And there wasn't a de facto legalization or descheduling of cannabis. So that loophole needed to get closed. It got closed abruptly from a legislative perspective, but they got a year to kind of soft land. Where they land is up to them. There's plenty of opportunities in the regulated market. I think some of these hemp businesses are actually the most competitive, most innovative, and most forward-thinking businesses that operate in either spaces.
Right.
So I think they can come in and move into regulated and compete, or they're going to go back to the black market where a lot of them came. So the quasi shelter that they've had for the last few years may be going away, but the industry moves on.
Sure.
It's just chop. I've been in this industry for 20 years. I went through the medical raids, DEA raids. Like, I've seen it all, and you kind of move backwards sometimes, you move forward sometimes, but if you're really in it for the right reasons, like you find positivity and you find a way to navigate through the chop.
Sure, exactly.
It is what it is.
So one thing I liked about your terps that I want to highlight is they're all natural, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, and if people want to know more about your terps, how do they find out about it?
TerpeneBeltFarms.com, DutyFreeTerps.com. two different brands that we sell. If you want to learn about our genetics, you can go to nexusagriscience.com. Our parent company that owns all of the intellectual property, the patents, all of that stuff is held in a much more forward-thinking, sophisticated like entity. And these are brands that we sell into this industry, but we're not only selling into this industry, and we have ambitions to kind of continue to move into, for all intents and purposes, call it the chemical industry, using the plant as a botanical source for natural ingredients. Petrochemicals are making their way out of our food supply, starting with dyes, right? We have the MAHA movement at the federal level saying, hey, petrochemicals, petroleum-based ingredients really have caused a lot of people to be sick in the United States. So we're finding alternative ways to bring natural ingredients to market that are plant-based, that don't require like huge investments like fermentation and all of these like alternatives to agriculture. I think agriculture, has gotten a bad name, but it's only because bioengineering was going towards engineering the wrong plants. So we're going to change the paradigm. We have some big plans. We're just getting started. I've been here for 20 years. There's another 20 years before some of these ideas come to fruition. So we're just happy to be here. Show's not as big as it's been in the past, but we're not going anywhere.
I've heard the comment I've heard other people say is that the show's not as big as it is, but the people that are coming through are good customers. Like you're getting a good clientele coming through. Is that?
Yeah,
would you say
totally.
That's true?
You're in a typical MJBiz year, you're swatting away people asking you what's a terpene or how do you use it.
Right.
In practice, here we have operators who are interested in placing orders, looking at new SKUs, and
awesome.
Yeah, it's just the old adage, like quality over quantity, and we're seeing that here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, brother.
My pleasure.
I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. I love the all natural, and the terps are important. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for spending some time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, guys. Cheers.